Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to episode 2 of the new version of the Billionaire Witch Prosperity for Healers podcast. And I am your host, ASTRA. So I decided to host the new iteration of my podcast from Substack, and then from there, and then also post to YouTube, because those are like the two. Those are what will show facial videos. But then from Substack, you can also post to I forget what that's called. Transmit it to, I don't know, 4 or 5 other places that host podcasts. But on those, well, I don't know, maybe Spotify. I'll have to check the Spotify, because I used to just do the Spotify as my podcast, and it's a different. That was a different. I can't think of the word. Hosting from Spotify for Creators. My old podcast. I don't know. I'm just kind of babbling. Sorry. Well, and the reason that if I seem scattered and kind of having a little bit of a hard time focusing, it's actually totally related to the title and topic of this episode, which is the awkwardness of almost there. So, yeah, it was like, I want to say towards the end of, either towards the end of last week or, yeah, I think it was sometime last week. I channeled all of this information about what works in order to receive more money, and it wants to be offered as a sort of a healing masterclass type offering, and that is coming soon. But so I had all this momentum and got the sales page written, and that was great. And I've got I think 2 out of 3 of my new monthly/annual memberships. I've got the 2 out of 3 sales pages up. I've got the 3rd sales page written, just like the sales page for the Healing and Masterclass, and I haven't posted those. I've got the Billionaire Witch Legacy 10-month journey that you can take with me, and that's up, posted. I've got some people in there. We're chugging along, but people can join anytime, even though it's a 10-month thing. We've just only finished month 1 recently, and now we're on to month 2, which is the embodiment of prosperity. Month 1 was healing the witch wound. Anyway, all of that being said, I have all these, intentions and visions of getting all of these things going and in the works. And this whole entire past week, I couldn't bring myself to physically do any of the work. And it was such a strange, and I kept saying, I have these days where I just sort of need to take a day off, and, I'll work on those projects tomorrow. And then tomorrow came and the projects never happened. And like, I've had times where 1 or 2 days in a row, like I've just been sort of like, just needing a break. I mean, because everyone needs a break. And even on days that I work, it's not like I work tons of hours, So needing a break from 1 or 2 hours of work a day, that's telling me that something very deeply energetic and transformational has been going on. And finally, like, in the old days, I would be like, why am I procrastinating? Why am I, resisting moving forward? Why this? Why this? I sort of really felt into it, and it was like, well, you've completed, whatever your last cycle. This is my soul or universe talking to me. Whatever your last cycle of, you've completed the last upcycling, right? On your prosperity journey, and you're getting ready to start a whole new leg of the prosperity journey that's going to be an up level that right now during this week you haven't made yourself ready yet to just leap into it. And so it's been this in-between stage. And today it's like, finally, it was like, I thought, oh yeah, in the morning I had so much energy and I thought, yes, I'm going to get stuff done today. And then everything felt just like, sort of like this rickety wheel, like trying to make it up a hill. I was like, what's going on? So, and I kept hearing, you're almost there, you're almost there. But today was one of the most uncomfortable, irritating days that I've had in a long time. And it was just so, oh God, dude, I've done so much of the inner work and released like centuries of crud and crust, right, from my being, my energetic realm, and my body, and all levels of my being. And so yeah, it's just so frustrating waking up and finally feeling like I'm gonna do it today. And it was like, okay, let's go. No, we can't get. I wheeled back a little bit. Nope, gotta go forward again. No, wheeling back. And it's like, oh my God. So I'm curious if anyone else is having these sort of bouts of frustration and energetic stops and starts and stops. And if you are, I want you to know it's okay. Because, and I had to tell myself that all day long, like, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. The flow will come again, and it will be a new up-leveled flow. And you're almost there, and you're almost ready. And oh, Lord have mercy. I have to say, it's been any little noises, by the way, if you don't know me yet, has been either one of my dogs or the kitty cat. Dogs are siblings, brother and sister, half beagle, half Boston Terrier, Baxter and not Starla. She was our old Boston Terrier girl. Baxter and Minerva. We used to have two full Boston Terriers, Donovan and Starla. Now we have Baxter and Minerva. I love you. He kisses me. So yeah. And I swear I meant to sort of give myself a proper introduction in the beginning of this web/podcast/video blog thing. But I always just follow like what wants to happen, what wants to come through. And apparently you needed to see how flustered I've been. And yet I'm being patient with myself. And so I am goddess. I am goddess to guided the card. Oh my glory. No, I am guided to choose a goddess card. Intuitively choose a goddess card for us from the Doreen Virtue Goddess Guidance Oracle cards. The old famous goddess cards. Just one card? Yes, okay. And not this one. Okay. Who is helping us in our awkward phase of almost there and into the new up-leveled flow of our prosperity journey? Kuan Yin. That makes sense. compassion. It's hard to see in the dark here. Okay. Yeah, I'm recording at night, so if you're only listening on audio, you won't be able to tell, but now you know. Release judgments about yourself and others. Be good to yourself. And focus on the love and light that is within everyone. Thank you, Kuan Yin. Thank you, thank you. Oh, and if you don't know me, I'll just go through. I get what I call my physical symbols. When I yawn, it's the yawn of transformation, meaning transformation has occurred. If it's if my eyes water, or I sneeze, or I cough, it's transformation. Eyes water, sneeze, cough, or get an air bubble or burp. Those are releasing physical symbols of releasing. When I get slightly lightheaded, that means a deep healing has taken place. And when my nose is itchy, that means there is more to be said. And I do want to end with a little channeled sound healing. I'm a sound healing channel vocally. And I'll do that in a minute, and I'll just finish up with a little intro, again, in case you don't know me, because I know I'm being syndicated. That's the word I was trying to find earlier in my brain. I know I'm now going to be syndicated on several podcast platforms, and there will be people who don't know me joining in the fun. I am Astra, the billionaire witch. It does not mean I am a billionaire in this lifetime. There's a little backstory to that, which I'll share in a minute. Or I should say I'm not a billionaire yet. Okay, itchy nose. See, there's more to be said. I have been guided to facilitate prosperity for healers since 2006. And yeah, it just sort of came through and happened. I could tell the full story. That would take a really long time, but suffice it to say, I knew I worked with a bunch of healers, and I just had this vision and guidance that we all needed to up our prosperity and abundance vibrations, because I can see energy, and I could see that that's what was needed. So I said to everyone, hey, all you healer peeps, if I hold a prosperity party at my apartment on Friday night, would you attend? And it would be like a healing circle, a prosperity healing circle party. And would you attend, and would you be willing to pay whatever it was at the time, $21 or something like that, 21, 22, 23. And they're all like, yep, I'll be there. So we did that. We started a thing, and that was in-person stuff. Then when I took my business fully online at the end of 2011, it was to support healing entrepreneurs like myself in raising their prosperity and abundance vibration, attracting more money, and experiencing soulful success within their healer or spiritual entrepreneur businesses. And I've been doing that, some iteration of that ever since. And so that's a pretty long time. 2011 to 2021 is 10 years, 22, 23, 24, 25. So 14 years, holy macaroni. I should hold because it was around November of 2011. So I should hold an anniversary party for myself somehow or another. Yeah. So 14 years. So 1 plus 4 is 5 numerologically. And I always think of 5 as the number of love. I'm not sure exactly why. If I read it somewhere or I just intuitively know that that's, and it's sort of like in a pentagram. There's earth, water, air, fire, and spirit is the 5th one, but I also think of it as love, or ether, spirit, and love. So yeah, 5. It's a 5 anniversary. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. See, my nose is so itchy. Hold on. It wants me to say something else because the nose knows. Oh, I know what. I will invite you to take a peek at one of my new memberships, which is the Sovereign Money Mansion, and probably speaks for itself. And considering what I told you I do for my business, but you might want to check it out. It is on my website at healersalchemy.com/sovereign money mansion. Just all lowercase, all one word, no dashes, anything like that. healersalchemy.com/sovereign money mansion. And when you join that, right now it is $65 a month, and something like $698 for the whole year. So you get like over a month free, plus a little personalized money reading from me. And then you also get access to my other new membership, which is the New Cosmos Community Calls, in which we gather together on live calls twice monthly, and possibly more pop-up calls. But right now it's been working out really well at twice monthly. And yeah, you get to ask me all of your legacy work, prosperity, and empowerment, and visibility questions. And then just we all sit around and share what's been going on with us, and it's just very transformational. It's very fun, and just to have a sense of community, it's lovely. And yeah, you get that when you join the Sovereign Money Mansion. If you were to just join the community calls on their own, that's $470, or I'm sorry, $47 a month. And I forget the annual, but there is a savings on the annual too. And if the calls come on days that you can't make it, you get to email me the day before with any of your questions, and I'll address them. And the calls are recorded, so you'll be able to see the video replay, and you'll get to have all of your questions answered and then some. So, and that's you know what? I mean, it's on the same website. Here we go. Okay, healersalchemy.com/community calls. Yeah, so that's what wanted to be said. And now I'll do a little sound healing. Now, for the sound healing, if you're driving or operating heavy machinery, stop listening to the recording and just listen to the sound healing part later, because it's very vibrationally transformational, and it can, I'll just leave it at that. So you want to be in a quiet meditative space. Here I go. Yomiale sonaya moyale ale no wole. Yana 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 he. Booyah. And that was, I could sense as I was channeling, that was for helping us to move forward. Move forward in any ways that we need to move forward. Move forward. So it's sort of greasing the wheels there. No more rickety, rackety, uphill battle. All right, my dears. If you're new to me, I'm very pleased to meet you. Feel free to get in touch with me. I think there's a way to... Is there a way to get in touch with me on my... Not really. I keep meaning to make a contact page. I'm going to do that soon. But if you want to email me directly, it's astrasoulalchemist@gmail.com. That's the one I use for biz right now. All right, me hearties, I love you dearly, and I will see you next time. Thank you for being here.